Hey, sixth graders. So I mentioned in class that I'd make a video of me going through the chapter 6 test to help some of you review, because I think some people need a little help studying, and that is totally okay. I'm going to go ahead and use the second retest that we use. So if you've done this one, you might want to get it out and look at it. If you've not done it, you might want to pause the video before each problem and try it. That's up to you. Also, remember, if there's a particular problem you're having a hard time with, just skip to that part in the video, right? I'm going to go relatively quick, but you can watch it more than once. So we're going to start here. The first problem said, find the area and perimeter of the shape below. Write the algebraic expression and be sure to simplify the expression. So we're going to start with area. Remember, the name of the block is its area. So x squared is just going to be x squared. We only have one of them. X blocks, I have one, so I'm going to do plus x. And I have 2 units, so I'm going to write plus 2. That's going to be my area over here. X squared plus x plus 2. Now for my perimeter, I have to go around the outside. I like to start with my x's. So I have an x here, an x here, an x here, and an x here. That's 4x. Now my 1's are all over here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to add 6, and I'm done with my perimeter there. All right. Number 2 said, what is the area of the shape? So this expression here, if x was 2 meters. So I can actually use that original area expression and just evaluate it, plug in a 2 for x. I'm using parentheses here just to organize my thoughts, just to show where I plugged in something for x. I use order of operations, so exponents comes first. 2 raised to the second is 4, because it's 2 times 2. Not because the exponent's 2, but because it's 2 times itself. Plus 2, and of course that all comes out to 8. So we would say 8 meters. I've been bad about checking your guys' units, but that's what we should have over here. Number 3, perimeter now if x is 2. So I'm going to use this expression, 4x plus 6. Again, plug in a 2. I'm going to use parentheses for organization. Multiplication comes before addition. It's 8 plus 6 should be 14. And again, I'm going to remember it's 14 meters. And I just realized when I did that this was area, so it should have been square meters. I'm sure some of you were screaming at your computer screens right there. Oh, there's a bell. Let's ignore that. All right, coming down to number 4, we're looking at a division problem with a mixed number. We know that we can flip and multiply, but we're going to need to change our mixed number to an improper fraction first. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12, and we keep the fifths. And we're dividing by 1 over 10. Now we know that we can take this and we can keep the first fraction. We change the division to multiplication, and now we flip our second number to its reciprocal. And when I multiply across, I could get 120 over 5, but I can also divide out a 5 from both of these to begin with. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And that'll give me 24 over 1, or 24. And you would have gotten the same thing if you had 120 divided by 5. So 24, we'll go ahead and we'll add it up here. Number 5. 3 halves, don't have to do anything with that. Divided by 5, 6. We're just going to flip and multiply in this one. So keep that. Multiply 6 over 5. This is going to give me 18 over 10. I didn't cross cancel to begin with in this one. I might have wanted to. But I can just deal with it now. Divide both of these by 2. Divide 18 by 2 and divide 10 by 2. I get 9 over 5, or 1 4/5. I'll write it as 1 4/5 up here. 9 over 5 is a totally okay answer as well. Number 6, of in math means multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 3/10 times 5 halves. I'm going to not cross cancel just to show it to you guys this way. This would be 15, multiply on the top. On the bottom is 20. Divide those both by 5, and I get 3 over 4. And 7, again, is multiplication. Again, we have to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7/5 times 1/3. And that one's just going to give me 7 over 15. We're just going to leave it like that. I'm going to cut the video here before I go to the back side. See you in a second. All right, the back side. Sorry, you can kind of see the ink through the page. Hopefully that's okay. Order of operations. A lot of mistakes on these. These are worth 2 points too. So first mistake, I take off 1 point. Second mistake, I take off another. I'll try to tell you where I see the mistakes. So if we circle the terms, remember terms are separated by addition and subtraction. This is a term, and then this is a term. We don't worry about the 6 and the 2 in parentheses because that's its own thing inside of the parentheses. Now, we simplify the terms first, and then we're going to add them together. When I have multiplication and division, I go left to right. So 8 times 5 is 40 divided by 2. Plus, let's do this term too. 6 minus 2 is 4. So 4 squared times 2. One thing I see a lot of students do is on this next step here, they'll come in there and try to multiply 4 times 2. You can't multiply until you do the exponent. So, actually we'll do that right now. So 4 to the second is 16. Still times 2. And over here, 40 divided by 2 is 20. Multiplication before addition, that's another one. When there's addition on the left, I see a lot of students add before they multiply. Got to multiply first. So 20 plus 30, not 36, excuse me, 30, 32. And that, of course, is 52. I'm not going to worry about the answer key for these ones. Number 9, 2 raised to the third minus 1 plus 100 divided by 2. Again, circle the terms. There's a term. We'll deal with that first. Here's another term. It's not going to be dealt with until the end because it's already simplified. And then here's another term. So 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2. It's 8 minus 1 plus 100 divided by 2 is 50. And now go left to right. 8 minus 1 is 7. 57. All right, number 10. Rob has 5.5 pounds of walnuts. He wants to share with his friends. How many 1/8 pound bags can he make? This is a 5.5 divided by 1/8 is the problem that we're trying to do here. I'm going to convert these both to fractions. So I'm going to make this 5 1/2 divided by 1/8. Just like we did on the front side, I need to make this an improper fraction before I divide, or before I flip and multiply. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Now I'm just going to go across here. So keep the first one, change it to multiplication, 8 over 1. And that would be 88 over 2, which if I divide is just 44 bags. We can say bags. Number 11, combine like terms. So now we're just looking for like terms. Remember, like terms have the same variable, and they have the same exponent on the variable, power. Degree is another word they'll use. So 6x squared, there's no other x squareds. So he's just coming down. I actually like to cross them out when I do that, to be like, okay, I'm done. Let's do x's next. Minus 2x, you got to keep the sign with it, and minus x. So that's like having 2 negatives and then another negative. So that's minus 3x. These are gone now. I'll do my c's now. So plus 3c, 3c squared minus c squared is going to be 2c squared. And then my constant. So plus 100 plus 20 plus 120. And there I am. Evaluate the expression below for x equals 3. That means we're going to plug this in. So whenever we see an x, we're going to write a 3. 3 squared minus 5 times 3 minus 2. Exponents come first, so that would be 9. Then multiplication, so minus 15, and then minus 2. 9 minus 15 is, I'm drawing a blank, minus 6. And then minus 2 is negative 8. I'll say minus and negative interchangeably. You guys know that. Last one here. Combine like terms, then identify the coefficients and constant terms. A whole bunch of you identified them in the beginning. So, again, let's do x squareds first. So 2x squared and minus x squared leaves me with 1 positive x squared. Get rid of them. 3x and 2x makes 5x, but then I'm subtracting 5x, so I have 0. There's no x's. You don't have to write anything for that. And then minus 2 and minus 4 is going to be minus 6. So now when we talk about coefficients, coefficients are the numbers in front of the variable here. So if you don't see a number in front of that variable, it means the coefficient for the x squared is 1. There's no x at all. Oh, sorry, if you don't see a number, it's 1. If you don't see a variable at all, that means the coefficient is 0. So those are your two coefficients. And then the constant is this number that's being added at the end. Technically, it would be minus 6, but you could also just call it 6, and I will take that right now. All right, I hope this helped you guys. Let me know if I can help you at all in any other way.